lights are blinding. Look at everyone around me now, so deep in conversation, but I wanna get away somehow. Then I catch you looking over. I get a little bit nervous, wait, looks like I'm walking over. What can I say? Oh, hold on steady, I'm not ready to be falling like this now. Oh, you got me so tripped up and I can't look another way. Losing control of my tongue, baby, you're making me say, give me all of you for the night. Forget about tomorrow, cause it's so far away. I'm living in the moment and it's going alright. No need to be lonely, tonight is for only you and I.
Jack Harris, there you are. Look at you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm currently at my apartment in Columbus, Ohio. I'm a student at Ohio State, so...
Nice, Buckeyes. I love Columbus. Great city.
Beautiful, yes.
Great city. What's the name of that street that has the graffiti and the ice cream place and all that cool stuff?
Well, the main street is High Street.
Yeah, it's really artsy. It's really cool.
Nice artsy area, yeah.
Nice. Well, Jack, thanks so much for joining us. You know, it's you're a wonderful talent, Jack. I mean, you do it all. You're a producer, you're a songwriter, and of course with a stunning voice, yeah, of course. But I mean, every song, Young Kids, Take My Hand, For the Night, I mean, just really great stuff, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah.
Absolutely. So happy to have you here, and I think everyone is going to know your name in short order, Jack. But Jack, your songwriting is so layered and it's so good. I mean, and actually, you know, I talk to people and many people describe songwriting as possibly the hardest thing in the world. You know, you're sitting there, you have the pressure of your own high standards, you know, the creative pressure, make it accessible to people's taste and all that. Jack, what do you do when you are writing and you're having trouble getting out of your own head?
That's a good question. Well, I think primarily when I'm writing, the goal is to figure out in as little time as possible, you know, in as short a time span as a single song, how you can express a common emotion that people have. So whether it's happiness, whether it's missing somebody, whether it's love. And so I guess I don't try to get out of my head, really. I try to look more into my own head and figure out from my past experiences what emotions I felt in those moments and put my head back into those situations, if you know what I'm saying. So it's sort of like a method where you put yourself into a mental state to find that emotion and then figure out how you can put it into words that people will understand.
Amazing. Okay, that's really great stuff, actually. That's interesting. So, you know, obviously, because, you know, you come from a deep well of knowledge. I mean, you've studied people like Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen pretty much in depth since you were young. Is it almost comforting, Jack, you know, as well to know that, you know, people like them, people like Robbie Robertson and all these icons, like they had the same insecurities when they were starting to write a song. It's like, well, you know, if Darkness on the Edge of Town was born out of all this insecurity, then like, it's cool with me.
Absolutely, yeah. A big thing that I try to write about, and it's almost therapeutic, is mental health and anxiety, because I think throughout my life, I've had my own personal struggles with anxiety and figuring out who I am as a person. And it seems to be a common thing among artists that they start to express that through their music. And as I said, it's sort of therapeutic to try to put that into words and try to make a piece out of it that other people can relate to.
My God, that's great. That's amazing. You're so wise beyond your years. I can't. You're like a motivational speaker. I love it, Jack. You're a jack of all trades. You know, and it segues actually into my next question perfectly, because one of my favorite things about your songs, Jack, you know, you can see it in a song like Setting Sun or Until Tomorrow, for example, is that, you know, you never sugarcoat, like you said, that life has challenges, right? That you've struggled, that, you know, you never claim at any point that life is all rainbows and sunshine and all good stuff. But you
Yeah.
always turn these obstacles into light. like you always find a way of like basically shooting the message that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. um where did this amazing outlook come from, Jack? Because that is like really deep and really like powerful.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, when I'm writing a song, I try to be as real as possible, and I want I don't want to hide anything that's inside of me because ultimately that would be doing a disservice uh, to whatever song I'm writing. Um, and then just in terms of going into a mental state while I'm writing a song, I sort of try to exaggerate past experiences that I've had or past emotions that I've had because when you exaggerate something in your mind, more ideas come out of it for a song. And so um, once you're exaggerating to that point, it then wills you along the journey to sort of bring it back and make it a little bit more happy and a little bit easier to listen to and more hopeful. And I think in the end, even in a sad song, you want to give someone hope who's listening to it.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, it's funny because it's so part of you that it's ingrained in you, and like it's just natural to you. But the fact is, it's like we need more of that. The art and the music needs more of that. But it's great that at least we have you spreading that gospel, Jack. That's good stuff. And Jack, who do you go to when you want to get a vibe from, when your songs are a work in progress, and who do you go to trust to get a vibe? Like, how does that work? Like when you have a song, like, I don't know, like Take My Hand, almost ready, for example, do you call Siena Bell, or do you call your buddy from college and to validate it, or do you like, or like someone you respect more than others?
Yeah. Well, I think in the beginning, when I was starting out writing songs and finishing songs, I really kept them to myself a lot, and it's because it's hard to open up to other people and share those things. And then the first people that I trusted the most were my family. So early on when I was writing, I would always be excited to finish up a song and share it with my family and see their reactions. And now it's expanded to a point where I get a lot of support from my friends here at college. I can share songs with them, see how they react. Uh,
Nice.
I can. I've been trying to do more co-writing, so just using those networks. But then also another area where I think a lot of songwriters test their material is actually on stage.
Sure.
Um, so this past summer, I was doing an internship at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and I was playing out on the plaza for just visitors at the Rock Hall, and
Hmm.
that was a great place to be able to play songs that nobody had ever heard before and
Beautiful.
just look around at the audience, see how people react. Uh, if they love it, I know I have something good. If I'm not getting a huge reaction, then maybe it's time to change something.
It's almost more powerful if you get someone to stop on their tracks, because they're all excited, they're walking by the Cleveland Brown Stadium, they want to get inside, and it's like if someone stops their family like to listen to your song, it's almost like more meaningful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ah, that's great, that's great, Jack. And when you're playing it for like your friends in college, or for something, and you hit play the first time, like what are you looking for? Like, I'm just fascinated by this creative process. Are you looking
Yeah.
at their expressions? Are you like kind of like waiting for the song to like end? Are you nervous? Like, what goes through your head?
Definitely some nerves, a little bit nervous to just see how they react because obviously I respect the opinion of my peers. And then another thing that I look for personally is for someone to say, "Wait, this is you?" Because I think that's a huge compliment when someone says, "Hold on, this sounds like so and so, name an artist." And it's
Yeah.
like, "Yep, that's me." That's a huge compliment to hear that.
Ah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and I mean, your voice is amazing. Can't wait for the world to hear it, Jack. Let's chat about your producing for a second, because that is another tool in your arsenal that is insane. Like I said, you're like a Swiss knife of talents. Take me, Jack, to when you were 10, 11 years old, and you discover on your family's computer, GarageBand. Like, what are your memories of just sitting there and like having your mind blown as a child, and like, I guess, spending hours playing with discovering it?
Yeah. Oh man. So many memories from that. I think um I feel like a lot of kids who grew up at the same time that I did might have that memory of messing around on GarageBand, playing around with the loops in the GarageBand library. But then what really sort of changed it for me was discovering that you could actually write your own loops and write your own notes and use something called MIDI where you can program your own drums and stuff. And then it was just from there, I was obsessed with it, knowing that I had the power to do that myself. And I would just spend hours trying to come up with new things on there.
Like hours. I imagine you 1, 2, 3 in the morning just sitting there, just playing with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, man, Jack, that's great, great stuff. And Jack, something that I always ask this when I'm like talk with top producers or with you, like everything's evolved so much, and obviously Logic Pro X, Pro Tools, but when do you know that enough is enough, Jack? What I mean is this: like, there's so many layers. You can spend weeks, months, years on a song just putting more layers and just
Yeah.
removing stuff. When do you know, and how do you know that a song is ready to go out? Like, what's the when do you know?
That's a really great question. Because you're absolutely right. You could continuously go back into a project and change one sound to a different instrument because you have an infinite amount of options in front of you. So I guess just a rule that I've been told and something that I try to live by when I'm making the music is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you think it needs to be perfect, that's when you get in this loop and just continuously keep changing it. I think something that's important to think about is simplicity, and just when you lay down a track, you leave it be and trust that it's good because you made it that way. And yeah, you just can't keep going back to it. You gotta finish that process at some point.
Yeah, like just getting it out the door in itself is like an accomplishment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially early on when a lot of people I knew didn't even know that I was this into making music, a huge step was just saying, okay, I'm not gonna keep working on this. I'm just gonna put it out there and see what happens. So
I
everyone
love
has to do that. If you're a
that.
creative, you have to put the work out. Otherwise, no one's gonna see it.
Remarkable, Jack. Remarkable. Let me ask you about your collaboration with Siena Bella. There, how did it come about? Your harmonies, mesh really well. Just kind of like the genesis of that collaboration there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I think I actually wrote that song about a year ago. And I was just writing it by myself as a love song. And when I got done writing the song, I thought, wow, this would actually sound really good as a duet, as a male voice and a female voice singing a love song with each other. So I had met Sienna back in high school, and she went to a high school in the same Cleveland area as I did, and I knew that she was a really talented singer. So I recorded a little demo of the song, sent it to her, and said it would be awesome if we sang it together, and she loved it. So we got in the studio together with a producer named Ben Schigel at Spider Studios. And we made that song, and it was just a blast recording that with her. She's very talented.
Yeah, yeah, it came out fantastic, Jack. Well, listen, you've been so generous with your time, Jack. Let me ask you about your plans, because I mean, we're hoping, knock on wood, that we're kind of turning the corner on COVID. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I think there's dates and stuff coming out for September, October. A lot of positivity around that time. What plans do you have, for Jack in the horizon that you can share?
Yeah, well, right now I'm definitely in a planning phase where I'm just trying to figure out what's to come in the future. Definitely always writing new songs, figuring out what's the next thing that I want to put out as my own music. I've been working on I finished up a song about a week ago that I'm tweaking up and hoping to release that soon. And then I have a music video coming out sometime in before the end of March for my
Nice.
song Young Kids. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully some live music to be played in the summer.
Yeah.
I will know more about that in the near future. But
Wonderful.
yes, I have that music video coming out. Hopefully, new music soon, and that's what's going on right now.
Lots of stuff going on. Exciting stuff, Jack. Great. Well,
Well,
listen, thank you so much, Jack. I mean, it's been a pleasure connecting with you. You know, we're in Nashville, so I'm sure you will, whenever life brings you to Nashville, we'd be happy to connect, and we look forward to seeing you blossom into what we know you're going.
thank you very much. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for having me today. It was great to meet
Abs-
you.
Absolutely, Jack. Take care. Go
Take care.
Buckeyes.
Go Bucks. Yep.